Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Creations exclusive Masters of the Universe Chronicles King Grayskull from, if I'm not mistaken, New Eternia. This, of course, is brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. I did just say it was a Mattel Creations exclusive. Now, didn't I? You're not paying attention again, you silly goose. But at any rate, this is the second figure we have in the MOTU Chronicles line, and boy oh boy is this line off to a pretty decent start. We first started off with Scareglow. I mean, if that's how you're going to come out the gate, then by all means. And now we have King Grayskull, a 2000X original, and I have to say, they did fix one thing I had an issue with on the Scareglow figure. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. So why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all King Grayskull has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of fisticuffs. So we can straight up deck a motherfucker. Because why not? Looks like the type of guy that's not opposed to throwing fists if he has to. Said we also have the Power Sword and his Battle Axe. Pretty decently sized Battle Axe too. Then we also have the Shield, which has the two rubber straps on the back, so you can hold it. I prefer on the left hand, but you can put it in either or, because the design is symmetrical, I think, for the most part. Take a closer look at him, though. He's got a soft goods cape. It is not wired, but I don't think it really needs to be. He's got these Viking pauldrons here. I'm going to be careful because I don't want these to pop off like the Keldor Masterverse did. And then his cape is a pain in the arse to get back on. He's got all this hair. He's got like braids and a ponytail on the back, which is not articulated, but I didn't really expect it to be. He also has a bit of a beard going on there. I can't tell. Maybe not. But he's got fuzzy boots, the furry loincloth with some leather on the sides, it looks like. I will say, I wish this was cut a little differently, because his hips are a little tricky to move. And this hip on mine is a little loose. That's not great. But I have messed with two of these, and they're both like that, so I guess that's just the thing with this figure. Diaphragm joint. Also not the tightest thing ever. But you know what isn't the tightest thing ever, and that's actually a good thing? The hands. Observe. Okay, that's not the best example. However, these hands are a lot easier to pop off. They're a little bit squishier than the Scareglow hands. And if I go to the other side, that one will probably pop off a little easier, yeah. This one on mine pops off a little bit easier, so, you know, take that for what you will. I like that. I like the fact that I don't gotta hit these with a hairdryer for like 20 some odd minutes to really soften them up. But at any rate, this one might be a touch too loose, but I don't know. I don't exactly mind it either. But as far as King Grayskull's articulation goes, he does appear to have a joint in the neck. Yes, he's got it. As well as in the base of the skull. That allows his head to go up and down and all around. It's hindered by the hair. There's not much you can do about that other than maybe make it a little softer, but it is pretty soft as it is. So again, I'm not sure how they could fix that. Shoulders can pop out about that far. He does have the beautiful butterfly. Swings back and forth. He can rotate up and down. He's got a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that are nice and butter smooth. Ball hinge wrist. That can of course hinge in and out or up and down depending on what you want to do with it. Torso can lean back this far, forward this far. Again, not the tightest thing ever. It can rotate up here as well as down here and tilt side to side. Not too bad. Hips kick out about this far. They do have the drop down if you want to use that. They can kick forward and back. Again, the in and out is a little loose, but it's not terrible. In fact, right now it seems to be holding up, so I don't know what I just did, but hot dog. He does have a built-in thigh cut. That can, I guess, determine how tight the hip is. That's interesting. Double knee. He's got a boot cut. But you don't really need that because you do have swivel and a hinge in the foot with a rocker and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And that is it for your King Grayskull. Very, very nice. Does fix the hand issue I had. I don't feel the need to heat this guy's hands up at all. There is a spot to store the sword on the back. Just gotta try and not get it caught in the cape when you're doing it, which can be easier said than done. There you go. Then you got the axe, which can go into there. And then the shield. You can just, hopefully, I tried this earlier and I didn't have to use heat. Get this up and over, but it's not the easiest thing to get this in the hand. But if you can get it, it's a pretty snug fit. There you go. There it is. There's a shield in his hand. And now your King Grayskull is ready to rock. For he is the King of Kings. There is only one, you know. But, yeah, cool figure. I dig it. I dig it quite a bit. Is it my first choice for a Chronicles character? No, but we never did get one in Masterverse, so I guess it makes sense. Just like Scareglow. So, with that being said, it is now time that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is our new Eternia ? King Grayskull, alongside the only other Masters of the Universe Chronicles figure we have at this current time. That, of course, being the new Eternia ? Scareglow, who I'm still on the fence about calling a Walmart exclusive. He could show up on fan channel retailer sites for all we know. But one thing I have to say that's funny about this Chronicles line is that the fine folks over at Mattel during Toy Fair said everything was on pause in favor for movie stuff, but yet here we are, 2 figures into Chronicles, none of them are movie figures. Probably because this is the type of stuff that sells. Either way, we also have a Masterverse figure in Viking He-Man. Also from New Eternia, without the question mark, because he was branded that. Either way, as you can see, the scale is not 1-to-1, but it's pretty close. That said, this Viking He-Man is an older figure, so maybe he's a bit shorter than some of the later Masterverse offerings, but as it stands, him and King Grayskull are about the same height. And that says something because Viking He-Man, of course, has the helmet that will give him a little added height, whereas King Grayskull does not. Yeah, he's got the ponytail in the back, but I'm able to get a decent sense of scale with more or less the front of his head, not so much the back. Scareglow is the only one that feels kind of short, because if I'm not mistaken, Ninjor was a little taller than him. But again, later Masterverse figures tend to be a bit taller than some of the earlier ones, and this Viking He-Man was quite early on in the line. I think we were still getting Revelation figures at this point, so getting these two out of the way so we can bring in our two regulars. We have the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith right here, if I can get him in far enough without knocking KGS over, King Grayskull, for those of you not in the know. And we also have the infamous 11 Spawn, who without a doubt, actually, he's not much taller than King Grayskull. That's a revelation in and of itself. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I still think there are some growing pains to come with this Masters of the Universe Chronicles line, particularly in the torso articulation, I have to say that good old King Grayskull here does solve at least one thing that I had an issue with on the Scareglow figure, and that is the hands appear to be a little bit easier to swap off. Scareglow, I had to use a hairdryer and heat them extensively to make them as easy to pop off as they are, and they're still quite difficult compared to this guy. Whereas this guy, butter smooth out of the box. Maybe not butter smooth, but way smoother out of the box. I can only imagine how easy it would be with some hairdryer action. Other than that, he comes with the appropriate amount of accessories. We have a pair of fist hands instead of a pair and a half of hands. We get the axe, we get the sword, we get the shield, we get the soft goods cape. Yeah, there's no wire, but this guy was only like $5 more than the Scareglow was, and, well, at the end of the day, he does come with more for that extra $5. So there's not really a whole heck of a lot I can say against this figure other than some joint tolerances here and there need to be addressed. Other than that, he's ready to rock out of the box, and that's how it should be. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.